Today, my friends, I am bringing you a Town Hall 12 upgrade order for 2020. Now, this guide is going to be really comprehensive, and it's going to teach you guys a recommended way of upgrading, as there is no right way. But within this video, we're going to be going over things such as the lab upgrades, the building upgrades, and also what attacks work really well in the current meta. So, we are here looking at the Town Hall 12 upgrade guide, but before we actually jump into the defensive buildings, I just want to really quickly go into these buildings right here and traps. These are the new things that you get in terms of buildings at Town Hall 12. So, what you unlock is the Siege Workshop. This thing is an extremely important building, as it allows you to unlock siege machines. These things are really good, especially for donations, as a lot of clans still have yet to have them. So if you're a brand new Town Hall 11, or if you're Town Hall 11 looking to upgrade to Town Hall 12, I would encourage you guys, because that is going to help your clan. As long as you have at least one Town Hall 12 and maybe one Town Hall 13, you should be able to use siege machines. So even if you are even if you rush up to Town Hall 12, get them, because you want to be able to support your clan. That is why I think the Siege Workshop is a great building to get. It's definitely a very, very viable thing, and like any army, sort of space, you are going to be using it, in order to, use it yourself, so you don't have to bring it now, you don't have to request for it, and you also can donate to the CC for your other clanmates. That is going to be a big, big thing for you at Town Hall 12. Now, the other buildings that aren't offensive are going to be the Tesla. This is going to be your 5th Tesla at Town Hall 12. And not just that, but you're also going to be getting a 3rd Multi-Inferno. This thing is going to really change the base building meta in terms of how you build your bases. So you definitely want to try and make sure that you might want to keep those Infernos a little bit more separate. So that's definitely one of the tips I can give you guys. On top of this, you are of course getting new traps, including new red and black air mines. I guess red air bombs and seeking air mines. You're also going to get 2 spring traps, and you're also going to get a giant bomb. All of that you are going to get really at Town Hall 12. Now, you don't get too much at Town Hall 12. If you guys remember that once Town Hall 12 released, really the only new building you got was the Siege Workshop. Other buildings were mostly just the Tesla, and then what came out later, the 3rd Multi-Inferno. So, with that being said, now let's go ahead and move on into the building upgrade order, which includes both offense and defensive buildings along with resource buildings. So we are in this section where we're going to be talking about your first day upgrades, along with how you should be upgrading both your offense and defense. Now, before we actually jump into it, I want to kind of quickly just go over this little section here. So the King, Queen, and Grand Warden all get extra levels. King and Queen go up to level 65, and the Grand Warden goes up to level 40. The storages go up to, I believe, level 12 or level 13, actually level 13. I still have them at 13 because I haven't had to use them for Town Hall 12. But the thing is that you don't really need to upgrade these two, as there's not a lot of elixir that you really need, because of course you can just either use a hammer or use the gold pass. The gold pass is actually really worth it here, because all of the costs, you really, at the 20%, you really wouldn't need to actually use any of the gold. You wouldn't need to upgrade these, basically, is what I'm saying. Now, if you don't, you may want to actually upgrade them, because once you get to those defensive buildings that take 12 million gold and stuff, you will need to upgrade those. So if I were you, I would definitely invest in getting the gold pass. It's just really worth it for Town Hall 12, and you can get a lot of good value there. Now, at Town Hall 12, in terms of your buildings, of course you have your brand new buildings here, but you also have your other things to get. So the first and foremost thing, as far as I would get, is definitely upgrading your laboratory. This is going to take some time, just a little bit, but I would definitely say that you wouldn't really need to use a book or anything. It doesn't take that long. It doesn't take like 2 weeks or anything. it's definitely worth getting. If you decide to book it, then I would definitely, I would definitely do so. But that's definitely a first day upgrade. Another first day upgrade is going to be the CC if you can afford it. If you use the gold pass, you can bring down that cost to, I think, around 9 million. I might be wrong there, but you can actually, very easily. If you need to, I would probably place that in with the gold storages as well. So definitely upgrade those when you can, because, upgrading your gold storages are definitely, good. Now, the next thing is actually going to be upgrading your DE storage. The DE storage gets an upgrade, and I think that's a really good thing because you are going to need more Dark Elixir. Whether you have the gold pass or not, you want to hold more Dark Elixir, especially if you're trying to get ready for, going up to Town Hall 13. Let me know in the comments below if you guys want to see a Town Hall 13 upgrade order, and I'll try to bring it to you guys, since I am also Town Hall 13. But the last thing that you want to sort of upgrade is going to be your army camps. Now, army camps are really, really solid buildings to upgrade because, for one, they give you those extra troop space. Now, remember, you're not going to be able to do all of the army camps at once. However, try to make sure that you, whenever you have an open builder, except for maybe having one for walls, as long as you have one extra, or you have extra builders that are free of doing, the other upgrades, then definitely I would upgrade those if you have the cost. Other than that, it should be really easy. You get those extra housing space, and that's what's really going to help you 3-star at Town Hall 12. Definitely having more of those. Now, what about the Siege Workshop, since it gets, 2 other levels other than just unlocking it? So as far as I would say, maybe at least get it to level 2 at best. I think when I was at Town Hall 11, I got it up almost immediately to level 3, so I can have the Stone Slammers. So as far as I would say, because when I went up there, they had the Stone Slammer unlocked. But I think as far as I would say with this, you may want to sort of scatter it, very similar to how you would do with the barracks. But I feel like you could probably also do this as your first day upgrade, or your first, week or something like that, since, those are actually going to take a little bit longer and they have multiple levels. So as far as I would say, yeah, it's probably best to, maybe upgrade that as one of your first few things. And then, of course, you want to upgrade both your traps and your new defenses up to Town Hall 11 level. So that way, then you're able to sort of have everything the same. That way you're on an even playing field. Now, we're going to jump into our defensive upgrade order along with the barracks. So the first thing that we want to get is going to be upgrading the Teslas and the air defenses. So the reason that these two are really good is because they do somewhat keep your war weight pretty low if you're worried about that. But not just that, but it also just allows you to have that extra defensive cover. So I think the biggest thing is air defenses are definitely going to be really good all across the board to upgrade. They're always really good to upgrade because they will help you defend against stuff like Lalo, E-Drags, Dragons, and really any air attack. So that's definitely a really good plus. Teslas, on the other hand, because they're hidden, you really never know where they are, and you could really place them in sneaky areas. They do a lot of damage now, and they really can do a lot of work. Now, this is where we're going to drop in our first barrack to the new level of level 12. So, as far as I would say, you could probably do this first as well, but I would say that it's not really necessary when you have stuff like hogs or, queen charge hogs. You have other strategies that are not Yetis that are actually still really strong. So you don't need to immediately get Yetis, but at the same time, you want to make sure that what you're doing with those other upgrades beforehand is that you want to make sure that you have all those barracks so that then, you're not waiting for something. Because if you have one barrack, if you have all barracks running, then you really won't be able to do much. Actually, you won't even be able to attack. So even if you have 3, it's going to be really slow. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're upgrading one at a time. That way it's not too slow, so that then you can still get the troop that the new troop, the Yeti, but then also still be able to attack somewhat quickly. Now, on top of this, what you're going to be doing next is going to be your multi-infernos. So let's drag this one over here. And on top of this, we're going to be upgrading these defenses here along with another Yeti another barrack to get the Yetis. So what you'll see here is that why are we upgrading these defenses before, the cannons, archer towers, and stuff like that? If you really want to make sure that your base defends better, then these are going to be your must upgrades, especially having the Town Hall at max level of star level 5. So when you're doing that, make sure that you're doing it with the Eagle. The Eagle's really strong. So I would definitely say that between those two, getting that and the Infernos, because you have 3 of them, it's really going to help on defense. Now, after this, I would go with the Expos, and that's where you're also going to upgrade another barrack. And the biggest thing here is the reason why you want to upgrade the Expos is because of how well really they are, because they do a lot of damage and you have 4 of them. So definitely it's a really, really good thing, and you can place them mostly anywhere. Sometimes you can place them on all ground, which is never always a good idea, but also, having them on air and ground, a mix of both of them is definitely going to help as well. Now, after this, you're going to do a couple more upgrades, which is going to start off with your wizard towers. So you will be moving on into this one, which isn't that bad. Upgrading the wizard towers are always going to be really good. They do offer that splash damage, and that's going to help a lot, especially against stuff such as bats and stuff. Those are going to help a lot. And then the last couple defensive upgrades, you're going to be doing your cannons and archer towers. But how you're going to do it is you're going to do both of these, but then you're going to cycle right back into them and upgrade them to the max level for Town Hall 12. For archer towers, they get maxed. For cannons, they still have one more level at Town Hall 13. So that is just to, get you guys into that understanding. Now, the last defenses to upgrade. Now, I'm not going to put traps in here, but I just want you guys to understand that, that upgrade order is really not going to do too much. But the big thing that I want you guys to know is upgrading mortars and mortars and bomb towers are going to be your last couple upgrades. They don't really do too much, and it's not really worth it. So, with that being said, that is the whole defensive order. Now we're going to give you the offensive order, the lab order, before we actually jump into some attacks that work really well. So here's what I would recommend in terms of upgrading your laboratory. Now for farming, upgrade whatever you farm with. That is really not as important as, that's just going to be based on you. What's your personal preference? If you farm with Electro Dragons more than you do with P.E.K.K.A.s or Yetis, then upgrade your Electro Dragons. You may wonder which ones to upgrade first, but when you're just farming, it really doesn't matter. So just think of the troops that you use a lot, and then maybe what army compositions are they in. But if you're warring, definitely this is what's really important, at least to me, at least. So, biggest thing is, first of all, if you unlock the Yetis, which you probably should have, then you're going to be upgrading these guys first. They're really, really good. And at level 2, they are definitely a solid unit. So definitely they are good to upgrade first. Next is miners. Miners work really well in the current meta, and there's, without a doubt, you should actually use them. So that is definitely the reason why they're up here. Next one is going to be dragons, and the reason I put dragons here is Dragbat's still very viable. Queen Charge Dragons is also viable. Why not give it a try? Definitely dragons are still really strong. Now loons are going to be next because balloons, now remember, this is the elixir upgrade order, not the DE. We're going to move on to that next. Here, the big thing is, of course, upgrading your loons. You want to max Lalo, loons are definitely going to be where it's at. And not just that, but dragons and loons, Dragbat, stuff like that, those are going to work really well when you have both of them maxed for Town Hall 12. The next upgrade after this is going to be P.E.K.K.A.s. P.E.K.K.A.s work really well in terms of funneling. They also work really well in smash attacks. So I would definitely say that if you're looking to use like a P.E.K.K.A. Bobat or a P.E.K.K.A. Smash, or even a Yeti P.E.K.K.A. Smash, then you can actually use that troop. And that's definitely a really good upgrade. Now, Electro Dragons are going to be towards the back. Electro Dragons are not the greatest war troop, but they are somewhat decent in terms of funneling and sometimes against, those compact bases. So that's why I put it towards the back. It's not that useful in terms of a spam attack because it's always going to require a solid base to hit. But other than that, you will need to upgrade them because they are definitely still pretty good. Next is going to be Baby Dragon. It's really, not something to worry about because, of course, you have the Electro Dragon and the Baby Dragon, both really good for funneling. So it's a great way to sort of, you don't have to do this first. You really don't, because it's not like you're going to use it every time. And of course, even if you do, it's mostly going to be on the outside. It's not going to be like an attack, like the thing that drives into the attack. So it's going to be a helpful thing, so you really don't need to upgrade it. Now, the last 3 things right here, those can be, upgraded in any order, whether you want to do wizards first, wall breakers, and giants, whatever. As far as I would say, it's up to you on whether or not you want to max out your giants, or you want to max out your wizards, or not max out, but if you want to upgrade your wall breakers. I would say if you're more used to wall breakers, upgrade them first, and then, yeah. So other than that, those 3 are going to be really flexible on what you want to do. Now, the upgrade order for spells, you see this right here. Now, this can either be done very similar to the giant wall breakers and the wizards. You can upgrade these in any way. You can either upgrade them with the, I'll just put this up here. You can do these in any way. You can either upgrade this first and this second, or you can upgrade this first and this second. They're so widely used. Why would you not upgrade both of them? So I would say if you're planning on upgrade them, feel free to choose either one. If you use a lot of drag bat, then that would definitely be good. If you're seeing a lot of, things such as, single infernos, then I would do that. But rage is also very useful in a lot of different attacks. So I would say maybe do rage first, then do freeze. It's up to you. So definitely that's one where I can't really make up my mind. Now, we're going to move on to the Dark Elixir stuff. Now, Dark Elixir is going to be a little bit different. So we're going to start off with the Hog Rider. And the reason that we're starting off with the Hog Rider is because Hybrid is still viable at Tunnel 12. With the Yeti Bomb, it's really crazy strong. Now, in terms of the next upgrade, you're going to do Lava Hound. Electron, or really any type of Lalo, is really solid. If I had to, upgrade any of these dark troops, it would definitely be the Hound, because you get that extra tankage. Bowler is next. Bowler is a very good thing because you can use him in P.E.K.K.A. Bobat, in, Bowler bounces, in P.E.K.K.A. Smash, in any smash attack as well. Even in kill squads, he's going to be really good. So I would say if you want to use him, go for it. It's a really solid troop to upgrade. Next after this is going to be your Ice Golems. Ice Golems are really, really good, actually, because they offer that freeze, and they also offer the sort of, they offer the death freeze. They add the slowness from their, whenever they hit. And not just that, but they also offer that tankage. And that's what's really going to help. Now, the next ones are going to be, somewhat flexible, but I would say Witch is going to be first. Witch is actually not a bad unit at Tunnel 12. Not seen too much, but I have seen it very little. It is still viable. Valks, not so much. They aren't a meta troop right now, but they are still somewhat good. I've seen Carbon Fin do some attacks with mass Valks, so they're still somewhat decent. Golems, on the other hand, they're not really as good, as you don't need a tank anymore, especially with the siege machines being out. So they're decent in some regard, but they really aren't worth using nowadays. But still upgrade them. They are definitely very good. Now, the spell upgrade order, I am going to say this. Poison's always going to be first. It is such a useful spell that, you really can't go wrong with it. The next spell after this, as far as I would say, is going to be your bat spells. P.E.K.K.A. Bobat and Dragbat are still really popular, so I would definitely upgrade those if you had the chance. Then the last thing is going to be your skeleton spell. Now, as far as the skeleton spell goes, I almost kind of said that in an accent. The skeleton spell isn't as, useful, as it's only used in like 1 or 2 attacks. Maybe like Sui Hero Mass Hog and Sui Lalo. There really isn't too much other than those. You can probably bring it in some other attacks too. It's really not that worth it though. So I would say leave it off to one of your last couple spell upgrades. And that'll probably be it. Now, we've gone over both of these so you guys can see it right towards the bottom. And of course, my drag clone. So maybe you guys want to see me hit live in champs with this? Let me know in the comments. But with that being said, you guys can see the 2 there with, the names. I had to kind of, remove those. But those are the 2. You got the Elixir and the Dark Elixir upgrade orders for the lab. Now let's go ahead and move on into a couple strategies that work pretty well. So what we are taking a look at here is going to be a Yeti bomb, and well, we're going to be looking at Yeti bomb with Miner Hog hybrid. This is a really common way, and if you take a look at this, just a little compartment here, notice this one, it's going to get completely wrecked. Look at that. Did you see all those buildings except for the wizard tower go down? That's pretty good. Now, commonly this will be used against those type of compartments, but you can still use it against a lot of other compartments. But why is Miner Hog hybrid with the Yeti smash so viable at Town Hall 12? The main reason is because if you can get rid of like a multi-inferno or single inferno with that, then what you're going to be able to do is just walk your queen this direction. So basically what you're doing with this is you're setting a funnel here on the inside, but you're also setting a funnel here with your king, and you're setting a funnel here with your queen. That's all you're doing. You're also going to try and deal with the enemy's CC like that. Then what you've got is you've got an easy funnel for your miners to go in first, then your hog riders, and then your grand warden. And that's really how you're going to be doing it. Really simple stuff, and you guys get the the reason to why. So you'll see we're going to drop in one heal first, and then what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and pop the grand warden ability right as the town hall activates. Because the warden has the passive ability, notice that the hogs will not die in one shot, and instead they will, have a sliver of health. The Grand Warden's passive ability allows you to be able to survive against that. So when you have around a level 35 to, level 40, you will be able to, use that passive ability to protect your hogs underneath it. So that really just goes to show why this strategy is really, really strong. It's not that hard to use, and it's definitely a very viable way of using it within the current meta. Hybrid is definitely a must-use attack. If you were to use any attack strategy, it would definitely have to be this. Hybrid is just everywhere, and why would you not use it? It's definitely a great strategy. Now, of course, people may be tired of me, talking about it, but gotta show it here. Now let's go ahead and take a look at a couple more examples of strategies that work really well at Town Hall 12. Now we're looking at Yetis at Town Hall 12, and the big thing here is we're using a Yeti bomb. So you can see, again, Yeti bomb is extremely, extremely strong. Actually, in this entire video, you're actually going to see another attack, one last attack that works really well, but you will see it with a Yeti bomb. So definitely, there's more strategies that work like Electron, but because this video is getting a little bit longer, I definitely want to try and make sure that, we're showing you guys some of these strategies that do definitely work really well. Maybe Electron may not be your cup of tea, but definitely these are strategies that work really well, especially if you aren't as used to stuff like Lalo. So these are definitely Lalo, if you're not, user-friendly to Lalo, then these are strategies that work really well. Like probably better than it. So you can see with Yetis is that all we're doing is we're using a Yeti bomb, getting rid of the town hall and this entire side, so that then what we're doing is we queen walk, and then we're going to walk our queen in, and we're taking care of this side with the king. So you'll see that what we're doing now, we're charging our way in. We're using this we're using this like a smash attack, like a regular smash. Of course, it's a Yeti smash, so that's why. We just want to use rage spells for them because, they work really well under rage, including those Yeti mites do as well. Yeti mites are just really, really solid units as they're able to easily get through a large portion of these. Now, you may already notice this base is not maxed at all, but still, you had that max Giga Tesla. I almost said Giga Inferno. But with that being said, you guys can still see how strong this actually is. These attacks can be done without the siege barracks. So if you're looking to, use something that isn't like, siege barrack related attack, this is a great thing for it. So as far as I would say, definitely give this one a try. It's really not that bad, and it's super easy to use. So with that being said, that gives you guys a really solid thing. Of course, they're using a queen walk, but that isn't bad because you guys can do a queen walk since it's not that difficult. Now, with that being said, let's move on to our final thing that we're going to be looking at, which is actually going to be, which I think is actually going to be Queen Charge Mass Hog. So for this last attack here, we're going to be taking a look at Yeti Bomb into a Queen Walk Mass Hog. Now, you already may be asking yourself, wait, it's a walk, not a charge? Well, it's because the queen is right in this section here. So you'll see with the Yeti bomb is that we are going for the eagle and luring out the CC to deal with that. Now, we're also going to get some extra value there because of those Yetis. They're going to get a lot of good value, including getting rid of those Teslas, also getting rid of things such as that Wizard Tower. Those are always going to be really good. So you'll see that we definitely did weaken up that mini Tesla farm there. So what we're doing is we're trying to walk our queen this direction, deal with the enemy queen, and then we could hog the rest of the base. That is what our goal is trying to be with this. Now, remember that if the queen is a little bit inwards, you may want to bring a jump spell. So you would be using a charge with this. Or you can use this in an area where you might be able to kill off the queen with the Yetis. I don't know. That's just some speculation, but you can definitely try that if you wanted. Let me know in the comments. If you guys ever try that, let me know and see if it works. I'm not sure if it works. If not, oh well. If it does, then that might be a really good way to kill off the queen with a Yeti bomb. But you'll see from here is that what we're doing is we're keeping our queen alive underneath the rage spell. You can see that rage perfectly placed in order for the healers on the queen in order to keep her alive, especially dealing with the enemy queen there. Freezing her up so she doesn't have to pop the ability. And you'll see that now we're going in with the Hog Riders. So from there, we already dealt with the queen, and now we're able to go in straight through with the hogs. That's why we have, I think 3 heal spells, and then we also have the Grand Warden's ability and a freeze spell to deal with another multi-inferno. But just remember, the queen's going to deal with the Town Hall and queen and possibly king. You just have to use the Hog Riders. So you'll see from here is because of that Yeti bomb clearing out this section here, we had easy pathing for our Yetis to go, or Yetis, we had easy pathing for our hogs to go through the rest of the base. But with that being said, guys, those are just 3 attacks out of a lot of other attacks that work. Let me know in the comments below, what attacks do you want to see at Town Hall 12, and I will try to bring it to you guys. Hopefully that you guys sort of learned from this video on my recommended way to upgrade. Remember, there's no right or wrong way, but feel free to go ahead in the description below. Feel free to go ahead and join my Discord, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to join the Corrupt fam. Also, feel free to go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. All 3 links are in the description, and my header is literally right in the overlay. Feel free to also go ahead and join any of the clans I'm covering within the description below. But with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video. I'm going to see you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.